Hello, welcome to the Tutors of Life podcast, episode 50. This is your host, Shaun Tutor.
And this is Sam.
You cannot see this right now, but Sam and I are videotaping as we speak.
It's a test run.
And hopefully, after this one, we will be able to start having videos with our podcast.
Hopefully.
Mm-hmm.
We need some adjustments, though. We're working on setting up the office still.
Mm-hmm.
But we have to buy some stuff.
Yeah, and Mimi's sitting in the middle, and she's getting anxious already.
So cute.
And we just started.
Cool. Shaun, what are we talking about today?
All right, so as we talked a week or so ago, we were talking about Rich Dad, Poor Dad's Cashflow Quadrant board game.
Did we actually bring that up?
We brought that up.
Okay, cool.
And because you brought up how you beat me last time.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Mm-hmm. How'd it go this time, babe?
I was so close.
She was close. She got out of the rat race before me.
Way before you.
Way before me.
Mm-hmm.
I stuck to my game.
Mm-hmm.
And I plucked you off.
I just kept running into those stupid red squares.
You know, sometimes you get lucky, sometimes you don't. That's the name of the game. That's the game of life, babe.
I honestly think that was the most red squares we've hit outside of the rat race.
It was a lot.
We hit Shaun and I combined hit a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Poor Tina did not make it out of the rat race.
No, she did not.
But what did we learn, Shaun?
So it honestly was just another reinforcement of when you won, wasn't it?
Pretty much.
Yeah. So we started the game, and I had one idea in mind. I'm not sure if you did, Sam, but I wanted to buy stocks and bonds at a low price to sell, and I wanted to buy low, like real estate that didn't cost a lot to sell in an up market. Mm-hmm. And so that I could essentially flip real estate up. Mm-hmm. And then I wanted to buy big properties.
Right. That was basically my strategy as well.
And we pretty much followed it.
Yeah, we did. And obviously it's like not going to be like real life because it was whatever cards you drew pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
And I got very lucky with what cards I drew.
Mm-hmm.
I bought the first stock I pulled.
Yep.
And then, which by the way, I figured out, I bought 100. I actually bought 200.
Oh.
But it was like after the fact, so I would have gotten even more, but oh well.
Dang.
Yep. And then I also had, what was it? I had a property that it had no cash flow, but I only had to pay like $16,000 for the down payment. It was like a $3,200 place, $3,200 mortgage or whatever. And then one of the market deals I got like plus.
What are you talking about? Are you talking about the house you bought?
Yeah.
You had to put $2,000 down for
Jesus.
For a property worth $30,000.
Yes.
Or $1,000 down. So you put $1,000 down, so you had a $29,000 mortgage.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. I was thinking of a bigger property that I probably didn't get. But yeah, so I only had to put $1,000 down, and then one of the market cards, it was like plus 15,000 or something off of your mortgage amount or something.
Yep.
So then I got a ton of money back and just bought a big place with it.
Yeah, so by investing $1,000, you ended up making that $1,000 back plus $15,000.
Yep. Mm. Yeah, I in the end only ended up with 2 rental properties that got me out of the rat race. That was it.
Mm-hmm.
I also did lower my debt though to make my passive income.
Yep, so you lowered your debt to make your passive income lower. which then when you got into the rat race, it kind of bit you.
Yep.
Because you were financially free and you were out of the rat race. However, your income was still so low.
So low. So I had to pass a couple more paydays compared to you.
Mm-hmm.
Because with just my salary, there was only a few spaces that I could buy. With just one. I had to get 2 in order to buy like the good properties.
Yep. And then you kept hitting red spaces, so you're really getting messed up.
Yep.
So what was your key takeaway?
The properties with lower cash flow, they're good places to start. Or like stocks and bonds, good place to start to like gain a little bit of money, and then once you get that little bit of money, then you can buy your first property with probably a lower income or cash flow, because they're going to be cheaper. And then when the time is right, sell it to make more money, and then use that to invest into a bigger property that's going to give you a bigger cash flow.
I concur.
So Shaun and I have been like thinking about it because we have quite a few rental properties right now that are all making less than $400 a month in cash flow. Well, will be. We're refinancing a lot of them.
Yeah, we'll talk about the refinance process maybe later in this podcast or in another one, or maybe both. Well,
we're still going through it, so I don't know if we want to talk about it now.
Oh, okay. So we're in the process of the refi, and so after the refinance, we'll have a few rentals that are only getting, $250 each. Three single family rentals at $250 a piece. Triplex with about $200 a door. Which is not bad. It's not a bad spot to be at.
No, I think our biggest cash flowing ones are the ones rented to stable living, correct?
Yeah, yep.
So those ones, like, we're not going to sell those, obviously, because they're being used and we're in a contract.
Yep. And we like to help Ryan.
Yep.
Because we love Ryan.
But yeah, it made us realize, like, we are putting in work into all of our rentals.
Yep.
So we're just going to use the profit we get from those. Well, at some point down the road, we're going to use the profit to buy something bigger with a bigger cash flow. I am so upset, Shaun.
Yeah, so Mimi was just leaning up against Sam, and then she's like, yeah, forget this. Turns around and lays in my lap. What a good girl. What a good girl. But anyways, yeah, so like Sam said, we're thinking about
selling some of the smaller ones.
Yep, selling some of the smaller ones in time to then get larger properties. But how we want to do that is very effectively. We want to 1031 exchange them, and so that way we're not getting hit on taxes.
And I don't know much about it. I just know there are very specific rules and guidelines you have to follow with that.
When within the time of selling, I think you have 180 days to have a property picked out and under contract, and you have 270 days to close. I believe it's something like that.
Okay, that's a pretty good chunk of time.
Yeah.
But
or maybe it's 90 days. I think 270 days, however the thing works, 270 days is the longest it can go. And so maybe it's like 90 days you have to have it picked out. We'll look up the exacts on that. But regardless, whatever it is, you're able to transfer the money into, you have to buy a property of more value. So if you sell yours for 150, you have to buy something for 151,000 or more.
Right.
And so then you roll over the profits, or whatever the mortgage is at. Say you sell for 150, mortgage is at 80,000, so you got 70,000. 10,000 went to realtor fees and closing costs, so now you got $60,000. That 60,000, instead of getting taxed on, long-term capital gains, 15%, 15 to 20%, depending on your category, on $60,000, you're going to, instead of getting taxed on that, you will get the whole $60,000 to roll over into the new property, paying for the down payment or paying down payment plus some more into it, depending on the value of the property. But I mean, it's just a good way, right? So say you were able to get into a single family for cheap. I'll give an example. Ryan and I found a property on Craigslist on 4th Street in Eau Claire 2.5 years ago. 2 years ago? 2.5 years ago. We were going to use it for a group home. That was 2 years ago. 2 years ago. We were going to use it for a group home. We bought it for 100. Was it 100? I think like 102,000 or something like that.
Yeah, it was just over 100.
Yeah, it was just over 100.
And it's a 5-bed, 1-bath?
5-bed, 1-bath. One of the rooms isn't legal.
Correct.
Yep. 5-bed, 1-bath. 2-stall detached garage. And we bought this property, and we had to put 20% down. So the loan, was around 80,000 or whatever. We've had some pay downs on it. But so we take that property, right? Now how appreciation and stuff has come, say I'm not selling that one because I'm renting it, because we rent it out and it works great, renting it to Stable Living. But say I just bought it as a regular rental, right? 2 years later, the market has gone up stupidly. And since the market's gone up stupid, I got evaluations done, and the evaluation on that came back, was it like 160,000 or something?
Yeah.
Granted, do I believe I get 160? Actually in this market, probably.
Yeah.
You clean it up. Yep. 501. I bet you we get 160 for it. So clean it up. So let's say we're going to sell it for 150. So we've done pay downs over 2 years. So we are at 75,000, let's say, on the mortgage. We are going to sell it for 150. So we get 75,000, 10,000 in fees. Okay. So we got $65,000. Okay. $65,000. We now have that we can roll into the next property from us buying something 2 years ago for $20,000. So now the purchase we are able to roll into 20% down, we would be able to roll into a 300,000. Is that what it comes out to be? 60, 120, 240, 300. God, yep. I'm so good at math. Yep. So yeah, you could take instead of $100,000 property, now we have the money for a $300,000 property in 2 years. Stupid market, that's not the norm, right? But it's just an example, like a real life example that we could have done that. And anybody who's been purchasing real estate from 2009 until now understands that what they could roll that money into is the amount they've made. They could roll into some massive properties.
And the smart way to do it would be to put into another investment, so not something personal.
Oh no, you gotta go investment.
Right. So then you basically get, extra cash flow for your original investment of $20,000.
Right. Yep.
So neat.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Pretty fun.
Yeah.
So, I want to think. The market's high, but if you could find an off-market deal for $300,000, that makes sense. You could go from, I think my cash flow on that property is $500 a month.
So in reality, you should be able to double it.
Boy, I would hope so. I would shoot for triple.
Well, yeah.
So, yeah, I don't know. I bet you could. Bet you could get close.
Probably really close, yeah.
Huh. Cool. Yeah. All right, so that's kind of so. Anyways,
we highly recommend playing the Cashflow Quadrant. Basically, is what it is, because it really, we keep forgetting that until we play that game again, because we've been, I mean, looking at our cash flow with all the houses we have, and we're just like, oh yeah, like we're making enough to cover all of our expenses right now, and like we're almost kind of just settling for that. But then once we think about it, like, oh, these properties that are making us money, we could sell them and use that money to get a bigger property that'll make us even more money.
Yep.
And with that money, then we can go do the fun things we want to go do, like travel, get some better podcasting equipment,
more Legos.
More Legos. That's going to be the best part of these videos, guys, is now you'll see what we're talking about when we talk about Legos.
We have a display.
And it's our background.
And you get to see little Mimi laying in my lap. This is seriously the cutest thing ever.
She's sleeping.
Yeah.
But so that's honestly like our goal is to just keep increasing it, and we kind of forgot.
Well, and here's what kind of stumped me up was, so with doing the refi, I'm locking in a 10-year lock. So I'll be locked in at a rate. So it's an ARM, adjustable rate mortgage, 25-year amortization, and it does 10-year locks. So I will lock in this for 10 years.
Okay, in normal people talk, Shaun, that's a 25-year mortgage.
Oh.
And our mortgage rate, so the interest rate will be locked. It'll be the same for 10 years.
Yeah.
And then once it hits that 10 years, it will vary with market like it naturally does, and we can choose when we want to have our new 10-year lock, right?
Well, so depending on what they offer for rate locks at that time, we can stay on adjustable at the adjustable, or we can sign a new rate. That also depends on your financial institution, because I know some financial institutions try to sign a new rate lock right away.
I think that's how Citizens is, the other bank we use.
I've talked to some of the banks I talked to, they try to do it right at like the mark, but Wisconsin's like, oh, it's up to you. You can just stay on variable as long as you want. I was like, weird.
And we can also, like, if the interest rate is really low, right, like 2 years before that 10-year lock is done, we can re-sign a new 10-year lock at that time.
Yep. So he said, so yeah, the thing is if you make it through the majority of your term, then within, a reasonable amount of time, you can do a new lock. So I thought that was pretty cool.
So that's what he means when he says all those things.
Yep, words and shit.
Yep.
So yeah, that's kind of, but anyway, so that, right, that's commercial side lending. But sometimes I'll get to thinking like, oh, I should be locking stuff up in a 30-year mortgage, but in order to do a 30-year lock with no ARM, adjustable rate mortgage, without having to do that lock I was talking about, so you just get a 30-year fixed rate mortgage. In order to do that, it has to be under your personal name. And I don't like doing stuff under my personal name. And so I was like thinking, okay, well, locking shit up at the interest rates of 2.75 for 30 years would be amazing. But then I kept thinking, I was like, wait, of all this shit I have, what will I really still have in 30 years?
Most likely only the group homes.
Yeah. That's like, that would be it.
Yep.
And so I was like, everything else I will trade up. And so I was like, well, fuck, I'm getting all the group homes under this portfolio loan right now on this 10-year lock. So that's good enough. Yeah.
And the rest will probably sell within the next 10 years.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. And so that's kind of where it's just good to realize that everything will have its phase.
And that was the importance of the game this time around.
Mm-hmm.
The last time it was the importance of like getting good cash flow deals compared to minimal cash flow deals and not selling them.
Right.
Is obviously way better.
Yep.
And this time it was thinking about the fact that you can sell your, cash flowing deals to get bigger cash flowing deals.
Yep.
It's incredible how every time we play that game, we learn something new to apply to our lives.
Mm-hmm.
I will say, everyone, our goal for 2022 is to get some real estate outside of the state of Wisconsin.
Yeah, we want to do an Airbnb somewhere.
Mm-hmm. We're thinking Tennessee or South Carolina. Let us know on our Instagram.
What? When did we decide that?
When did we not decide that?
Do you know Florida right now is at like the highest it's ever been? Dude, Florida's real estate has gone up.
So why would we buy
by like 36% this month?
Why would we buy one there then if it's gone up 36%? Wouldn't we wait until it goes back down?
Will it go back down?
Everything's got to go back down.
Does it? Or is there a new standard because of inflation? Hey, did you know inflation, the Fed tries to shoot for 2%, but right now the inflation is at, I think, 6.5%.
For the year?
Yeah, they claim the year, but I don't believe them. It's obviously more. But still, that's still 3.25 times higher than their goal.
And it's all because they don't want the market to crash. Right? Don't they keep like putting money into the system so the market doesn't crash?
Well, for the market not to crash and for them to have more money.
No, yeah.
They just want money. The government just keeps borrowing money.
That we don't have.
And there's going to be some serious implications on it.
Yep.
One thing is they've put 40% of the circulating money in the U.S. They put 40% more into the circulation. So, which means there has to be a 40% inflation.
You know what doesn't make any sense?
What?
So, like you've told us before, our currency has like no real backing to it, right? Like it used to be the gold standard. Now it doesn't really have
Got taken off in 1971 by Nixon.
Right.
Okay.
So now it really doesn't have anything, right?
It's a fiat currency. It has nothing.
So the people that say Bitcoin or like cryptocurrencies are bad things because they have like nothing to rely on.
Yeah.
They're all like their case is invalid then because the U.S. dollar has nothing to rely on either.
Yep. Yeah, they're just fiat currencies.
We're obviously just like making more because we can.
Right.
Interesting.
Yeah.
That's what is
going on. I think that's how that works.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah, there's nothing,
do like European countries,
they have fiat currencies.
So we can just all make up money as much as we want. How are we in debt?
Because I believe...
Like, who are we in debt to?
China. Significantly China.
But if their currency doesn't have backing either, then why...
China!
There you go. Like, if their currency doesn't have backing either, though, why couldn't we just, like... Why did we have to borrow money from them?
Maybe theirs does have a backing. I don't know if China's does or not.
I don't know. Maybe we'll learn that for another podcast.
Mm-hmm.
Currencies.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's kind of cool. But anyways, yeah, we could do South Carolina. Maybe Tennessee.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of want something near the ocean.
So South Carolina.
Yeah. Do you get something on the ocean?
That's going to be expensive.
Yeah, I can't afford that shit.
Not yet.
I'm poor
maybe if we sell like 3 of our properties.
No. Okay. Sure. We can shoot for South Carolina.
Yeah. Ocean is a future project.
I like the ocean because I can go there too.
And you can surf.
I would visit the ocean a lot more than I would visit Tennessee.
The mountains?
In Tennessee?
Yeah.
Well, we just said Tennessee. Oh, fuck. You know what? No. Fuck it. We're getting 2 this year.
We're getting 2 this year.
Fuck it.
1 in Tennessee, 1 in South Carolina.
I didn't say Tennessee yet. I want 1 in the mountains. wherever those mountains might take me.
Okay, got it.
You know what? Maybe we'll do the mountains in South Carolina.
But that's not
Wait,
even
that's
close
not
to the
ocean.
ocean.
Damn. All right, so
Yeah, what's more important first, ocean or mountains, Sean?
I don't believe either one's more important than the next.
I prefer ocean.
All right, let's do ocean. But what if we're searching for these ocean deals and we happen to get a good lead on the mountain? You're not gonna get it.
Obviously.
You're not gonna get it.
Okay, obviously, if opportunities come up, then you change your ideals.
Right. So honestly, now that we're talking about it, I want 2. Fuck it, 2.
One for the ocean, one for the mountains.
Yep.
Okay, done deal. There you go, guys. 1 year from now. 1 year and 20 days from now. We'll have 2
Airbnbs, and maybe we'll know how to run them.
Hopefully. Cool.
Yep.
That's all you got?
For what?
This episode?
I would just go on repeating myself about the same stuff over and over again.
Correct. That's why I like these tutor ones. We can make them short and sweet for you guys.
Okay, so recap of what we think might be the best route for us to get more financial freedom through passive incoming real estate.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, is we're buying properties that are lower valued.
Okay, let's start off with, we started with stocks.
That's true. We started with stocks to make some money,
Mm-hmm.
and a business.
Yes.
Stocks and business to make money.
Yes.
Took that money, put it into low-end single fam duplexes and triplex.
Mm-hmm.
So lower cash flow.
Mm-hmm.
Then through the years, we're going to sell them and 1031 exchange them into bigger deals.
Mm-hmm.
And those bigger deals will produce us more cash flowing income.
Mm-hmm.
And then we'll probably roll those into bigger deals.
Correct.
And that way we will keep increasing our money and our cash flow and not really having to put a whole lot more in.
Right. We've already did our initial investments into our investments, and we shouldn't have to do too much more.
Right.
Cool.
All right. Well, that's what we got for you, gang. Hope you enjoyed it. Check us out on Instagram. Hey, maybe we'll just post this video for shits and gigs.
Possibly. We see how it is.
See how it edits.
I don't think you looked at the camera at all.
Did I need to?
Yep, we're not posting it.
Okay, bye.
See ya.